Okay, so what do we have today? What's on the docket?
Okay, so this is another return patient.
Okay,
Been working with her for a while. 51-year-old
okay,
woman, and her main complaint are hot flashes.
okay.
So, here.
So how long has she been having the hot flashes? Do you know?
How long?
Roughly.
It's been since at least like before the summer.
Okay, so fairly recent.
Fairly recent.
Okay.
She hasn't had a period, in couple of years.
Okay.
Though she did have, I remember over the winter, she did have one
Okay.
bleeding, and then hasn't.
So she's menopausal at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So chief complaint of hot flashes. All right. And what have we done for her so far? What patterns did we determine?
So far, so this is one that's really curious because her pulse, for the most part, has always been kind of unremarkable.
Okay.
Maybe some wiriness in the liver, but more so than others. But and showing also some blood stasis.
Okay.
And damp. But her tongue, considering these hot flashes, they're really pale. Her tongue is really pale, swollen. I just had the pulse tongue open.
Pale and swollen.
Pale, swollen,
Okay.
pale edges, slight damp coat that is generally white, though this last one she sent me had maybe a little tinge of yellow to it, but she did say that the herbs do stain her tongue coat.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we'll post that below in the comments section, the tongue.
So people can take a look.
Yep, so you can take a look.
So yeah, pale tongue, pale face, pale lips, some blood stasis.
Okay.
So really interestingly, because we're not really seeing a ton of heat in her presentation.
When are the hot flashes? Are they throughout the day? Are they only at night? Is
Nope.
it constant?
All day.
All day.
They'll come and go throughout the day. I did ask her about at night, and she said she doesn't. It's really not something like night sweats that she's soaking through in the night. She did for maybe about a month back or so.
Okay.
Was complaining of a little bit more of like sensation of heat and like a waking up with like wet hair.
Okay.
Under the neck.
Okay.
But that hasn't happened in a while. She will push the covers off in the night here and there, but she does sleep through the night.
Okay, so it's not waking her
well.
up.
It's not waking her up.
Okay.
She sleeps really well.
Okay, so she sleeps through the night. So the hot flashes are less of an issue at night. They do happen, but they're less of an issue. She's way more cognizant during the day. They're not disturbing her sleep. They're not waking her up. Okay, all right. And she has this really pale tongue, so we know off the bat there's some degree of acuity. What about, does she have any flushing in her cheeks? No flushing in the cheeks that you observed?
Right.
Okay. And then also, what's her body type?
Body type is generally, she has complained a little bit more of weight gain that she just can't seem to get rid of.
Okay.
She's very active in terms of her exercise.
What's very active?
So she's not so much competitive anymore, but a bicyclist.
Okay.
So road biking and mountain biking.
Okay.
It's still like a big passion of hers. She also commutes to work, commutes everywhere on her bike.
Okay. So she's an avid exerciser.
Yeah.
Is she over exercising?
I mean, she's not super competitive right now, but she's probably over exercising. I did ask her. She exercises 6 days a week. 2 to 3 of those days will be intense.
Okay.
She's decided though she's not going to be doing any racing this season, so it might not be nearly as intense. But she did mention that last Saturday she did a 50-mile ride with her husband.
She did a 50-mile ride. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do we have her on for herbs so far, and what has the outcome been?
So we've had her on Urshiantong and Jiaowei Xiaosan. 50-50. That was definitely her last one. Let me look at the ones previous.
How did she respond to the last one?
So here's the thing. She feels like it kind of holds her together. It's not eliminating her hot flashes. It does reduce them. She's right now in a particular situation of extreme stress. Her father passed away several months ago, and now her mom is alone, and she's elderly, and she lives in Arizona, and this patient lives in Massachusetts. So, she's got constant worry with her on being far away. And even when I spoke to her yesterday, she was saying that her mom has been going to the ER a lot.
Okay.
So,
So high stress, affect damage, liver's definitely depressed. So it's not helping things. Have her hot flashes been worse?
she does notice that, like, a direct correlation when the stress is high, her hot flashes will just, like, come on.
Okay.
And, but not always under stress or duress. Will they come
It's
on.
just complicating. It's a complicating factor.
Right.
Yep. But given her other signs are generally more pointing toward deficiency, it's more likely that that's what's going on. Does she have any other kidney yin signs and symptoms? Does she have dryness, ringing in the ears, dizziness?
No.
Okay.
No.
What about, and you said she has some weight gain. Is she waking feeling rested? Does she feel foggy headed?
She feels rested. Her sleep is great.
Okay.
Well, more recently, because of this stress, she's been feeling a lot more unsettled, like kind of hyperactive or jittery
Okay.
feeling. But in terms of, and she did say dizziness, but,
Okay.
like a knot in her stomach.
Knot
So
in her
this is all just like, like nerves.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So she's been gaining some weight. She's under a high amount of stress. Tongue is pale, not showing any obvious heat signs, but she is getting these intermittent hot flashes, mostly during the day. She notices a definite correlation between when she's stressed and an increase in the intensity of the hot flashes. Okay. All right. And so we tried doing some Urshan tongue, and what else do we have?
And Jiaowei Shai.
And Jiaowei Shai-san, and she felt better on that.
Yeah.
It improved things.
She feels like being on the herbs helps, but
Okay.
it's, she's still having
It's not a cure.
It's not a cure. And we did have a conversation, or had a few conversations about how her exercise level
Yeah.
can be affecting this, because she has asked questions about, how long is this going to go on for?
She's over exercising if it's damaging qi and blood, since she's already, has a pretty pale tongue. It's indicating that there might be some qi and blood vacuity. So I think that understanding that at 51, given her age, given the decline in Yang Ming, it does happen. We also have to consider the fact that this could just take some time, given her life circumstances, more than anything else. This transition into menopause, and if she is getting hot flashes due to this transition, is always governed by the liver. We remember that, and her liver is just under constant assault from affect damage right now. So I think any gains she makes are set back immediately by the stress in her life, so she's not seeing these big leaps forward that she might see otherwise with any herbs that we give her. And that's may just be the way that it is until her life evens out. So this is important for anyone that's listening here to know that there's only so much you can do with herbs. There's only so much that you can do until a patient's life circumstances changes such that they're able to have a smoother transition into menopause, or they're able to have a smoother discharging and coursing of qi vis-a-vis the liver. Now, if she's under that much stress, she'll probably feel a little bit better on the herbs, but it's not going to be a lasting result. And as long as she understands that, she can keep taking the herbs. The herbs will help facilitate this process, but if she just needs to be clear about the fact that this may be as far as we can take it, and there's just simply limitations. Okay. All right. So what do we have her on that formula? Has anything changed since the last time? Anything different?
I mean, since the last time, she said that she's not getting as much of, that, like, waking up with wet hair or anything like that.
Okay,
So that
the
has
sweating's improved some.
Okay. But, her stress has gone up significantly since I spoke to her last.
Okay. So what we could do is just keep her basically on this similar formula, but adjust the ratios more toward the liver.
Yeah.
Maybe up the Xiaoyao-san or the Jiaowei Xiaoyao-san a little bit higher. We could, I think I would start there.
Yeah, that's
and
what
check
I was
in with her.
thinking too.
Okay.
I don't want to. I don't think there's anything here that warrants, like, completely changing up her formula, other than just adjusting the ratios
I agree.
and where the focus is going to be with the strategy.
That sounds good. Okay, good.